in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory, for the yeah, we've waited for our time to come. Calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing what? Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory,
I do apologize for that. I just went through this whole spiel and you couldn't hear a word of it, so let's do it all over again. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. This is presented by Ten Tenths Simracing. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. This is a family-friendly broadcast. Welcome in. This is round 9 of 10 here today, and we are in Japan at Suzuka. So we'll go over the information one more time here for everybody since you didn't hear it, and we'll just leave it off the screen for you. But it is a 3.51 mile racetrack, 5.81 kilometers, has 20 left and right-hand corners. It's a tarmac road surface. It is a real-world circuit and hosts a variety of world-class racing throughout the racing season every year, and has an elevation change of 131 feet from its highest to its lowest point. All right. 50 minutes on the clock here tonight for round number 9. This is round 9 of 10, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the second last racing week for this championship here, and we are displaying the final car of the season, the Peugeot 908 HDI FAP 2010 edition, and this car is quite a bit different than the other 3 cars we've seen this season. The Toyota TS050 and the Audi R16 have a really quick depleting battery system in them, and then we had that hypercar, the Toyota GR010, that had a longer lasting battery system, but it had to be managed throughout the distance of the race if you wanted to have any battery left for the end of the race. So there was a few things different with that car compared to the Peugeot. The Peugeot is all motor. It has no turbo assist boost. It has no nitrous injection. It has no electric assist. This car is just all power and it's all muscle. So it's 700 horsepower and it's 2,050 pounds when it's at its full running capacity. At Suzuki here, we're going to see a BOP on that, so that probably puts the car down a little bit on those base stats, but it should be an interesting race today. Now, with that being said, we are using... There's that soothing commentary. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you, game and TDC. So the interesting factor here tonight is we are using the dynamic weather here this season, and we have had 4 different opportunities to see rain happen throughout the races, and Mother Nature has played quite nice to us here so far this season. Suzuka is our final race of the season here in round number 9, where Mother Nature could really put a damper on our racers' ideas here for round number 9. Now it is Lucas369 coming in as our championship points leader as well. I wouldn't say he's got a huge points lead once we factor in the drop round, but it is a points lead nonetheless, and that makes him our championship points leader coming into today. So it's definitely going to be important for him to have a strong finish here today as well. Now, if it rains here today, that is going to change the tire mandate. The tire mandate at the start of the race, granted that it is under non-wet conditions, will be the racing medium and the racing soft tires required, and they need to be ran for a minimum of 3 laps. That does include the out and in lap. So essentially, they only got to do 1 full flying circuit lap if they choose to get off those tires at the minimum allotted time. However, if Mother Nature decides to bring some moisture to the racetrack and drop some rain, and we hit that intermediate recommendation level on the game's indicator, then that will void the tire mandate, and it is any tire goes at that point on for the duration of the race. So that is going to factor into a few different strategy opportunities as well over the normal non-race style race here this season. So what the drivers are going to do is going to be very, very interesting to see, and we will lead in with a 5-minute qualifier. Now, we are going to have a double lobby reset here in a couple minutes time, and that could completely change what the weather on track is right now. That is the beautiful thing about it. Everything is, we don't know. We don't know. The dynamic weather is our wild card in Gran Turismo 7, and it has absolutely brought some pretty great races here so far, and also in daily races as well. We see it's back in the daily races this week as well at Fuji, and it looks pretty good. So the dynamic weather is an interesting thing, and it's a lot of fun to play with. Maybe stress, not so much for the racers. Pretty stressful for the racers, not knowing they're going to be watching that weather radar all race long. As the conditions change, they'll be keeping their eyes on that. Of course, the crews on the radio also will be there as well to hopefully relay vital information to our racers as the race continues on. So now that we have audio and everything is good, we are almost ready for racing conditions. So let's talk about round number 8's driver of the day for our pro division. Last week we ran a very spirited fight over at Road Atlanta, and it's going to be ERA's Jakey getting the driver of the day award. He was by far the faster driver on the racetrack, even though he did not take the fastest lap at the end of the day. He came back from a couple of big spins and made up a lot of positions, and by the end of the race there, putting some pressure on Lucas 369, who was our eventual race winner, and closing a gap up to 3/4 of a second for a nose-to-tail finish at the start-finish line when the checkered flag waved at the end of 44 laps last week. And for that reason and that outstanding performance, it is going to be ERA's Jakey for the GT45 Gaming Driver of the Day award for round number 8, and that does come with a bonus point. So congratulations to Jakey for a great drive last week. Let's see what he's got for us here at Suzuka this week. Good luck to the racers. Get after it, TT. Let's go, TT. All the TT fans are up in YouTube here tonight. We love to see it. We love to see it. And welcome in over on Facebook. Egon with the heart, Nick with the like, and Michelle there with the thumbs up as well. Good luck to you, Nick, as well here this evening. All right, so let's get to business. Let's get a double lobby reset. Learn to spell. Yeah, Jakey, well done, bud. Good luck to all the yellow drivers. Let's go, Nolander. Let's grow. Yep, Nolander here. Just getting that car out on track a few minutes ago as well. That was not the right reset. Ooh, and look at that reset. That is a nasty reset. They should be very thankful. All right. It's actually going to be a triple reset because I did that wrong. So I apologize to the racers. They're all going to start to check in, and then I'm going to knock them off again here. But that is not the right set. You can see them all checking in right now. There we go. All right. Triple reset because I mispressed a button the first time around. Oh, and the weather is much different this time around, isn't it? Oh, boy. I did not do that on purpose, I swear to God. Again, it's all complete fluke of what we're going to see for weather here. So we were under sunny conditions in practice. Now, that's not the case here. We could potentially see rain in qualifying. So that is going to change things quite dramatically as well. So you know what? Let's just get over to the big screen. Let's just get ready for the buzz here because I don't know what to expect here tonight. But I think we're going to see some interesting driving here tonight, and you can see it's raining around the racetrack off in the distance here. So the bigger question is what tires do the drivers want to do qualifying on? All right, let's get this going here. Let's not delay these racers tonight. This is going to be some very tough racing conditions. So here we go. Pro-Am has a vote on how many pros will go off T1 at the start. Oh, prop bets. Love it. Love it. We got 11 of our pros on the grid here tonight. Oh, boy. It's about to get spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Suzuka is a very, very racer's racetrack. It's a very difficult racetrack, and not necessarily a racer's favorite here in the community as well. Some racers love this track, some not so much. And then we throw them in these crazy fast LMP1 cars around this racetrack, and then we throw some random weather at them. And I don't think it gets a whole lot more difficult than that. We could have, I guess, made them use the hard tires, but, you know... that's borderline bullying, I think, at that point. So, oh boy, here we go. We're just checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got about half a dozen reds here. Jakey, ATB, Lucas, Payme. JPMSD might not see the message, so that's 8, and we're out of 11. Alright, here we go. Same 3 will go. Let's go do some qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go do some qualifying. Welcome in, everybody, if you're just tuning in. This is a GT45 Prototype Challenge. This is round 9 of 10 racing rounds, and we are at Suzuka for 50 minutes here around this very, very difficult racetrack. Got to be 6. Ooh, the AMs are not giving the pros a lot of faith here tonight. I got to tell you what, the pro-AMs are, and they're up in here talking a little bit of smack here. Sounds good. Nolander. Appreciate it. Thank you for the heads up, my guy. Just do what you can and don't do anything you can't do. Appreciate you, my dude. We just want you to feel better. Alright, so here we go. Information on screen for everybody, and it's going to be Lucas369 out first here in qualifying, and it is cloudy right now, overcast, and the wind is fairly low, and it is late morning, keeping in mind as well, so the sun is just kind of peeking up and starting to come out, but we do see that big looming dark gray cloud over the center of the racetrack here. We have no moisture on the racetrack right now, as it's showing me here as the racers continue around the racetrack, and qualifying is definitely going to be important here, obviously, as it's round 9 and 10. That means next week is it, so double points round next weekend as well here at St. Croix C. We're going to be heading to France to finish the season off here, and it's going to be reverse grid based off the championship point standings. So our current championship points leader here right now, Lucas369, will be starting at the end of the lineup at St. Croix next week, so it should be interesting to see that as well, and that is a very wide, fast flowing racetrack, so it's going to be a very interesting finale here this season, I think, and I can't wait to see how this one turns out to lead up to how it's all going to finish out here. So we're going to break down some drop rounds so we can give all the what ifs to our racers in behind the scenes leading into the finale next week, but it's going to be a lot tighter than I think some realize. So it's Lucas369 starting qualifying officially here. So what we just saw, there was an out lap. That lap does not count towards the official timing. So now that 5-minute clock is about 2 minutes in, so you can see it's about a minute 42. It's going to be about minute 45 to a minute 48 here, somewhere in between there. For lap times, it depends on the pace of the drivers and the comfortableness of the car and the racetrack. And you can see Lucas369 here taking some really nice tight lines in through the S's, and as we head up into the Dagners, he's got a good line going right now. He's got a good little roll of steam, a little bit of a touch on the track edge there, but he manages to keep the car underneath him. And again, that looming cloud there, you just don't know what it's going to do, but it's going to keep the track a little bit cooler, which may allow these racers to hold grip for better. But however, under qualifying conditions, I think they'd probably rather have the track a little bit warmer than it is now, because that may also mean it's going to be a lot harder to get the air temperature built up to get that quick flying lap number 2, because we're only going to get 2 attempts out of here, with it being just under 2-minute lap times around Suzuka here today, even in these high-powered, fast, beautiful LMP1 cars. Alright, so we're going to stick with Lucas here. He'll be our first racer to come across the start-finish line here in qualifying, and then we'll make our way through the grid, and you can see lots of spacing here from the racers. Definitely not wanting to play slipstream here. Charging batteries is not going to play into any strategy here. This is all driver and car here around this last 2 races this season, and it should be interesting to see how they handle this. So it's going to be Lucas with a 43.3 as he comes across the line. We got Payme here. He's going to take pole away there with a 43.287. Dylan's going to come through there, and he's going to stay in 3rd place for the time being. We got JP as he's coming through here, and he's going to stay right there in 4th for now as well, waiting for the rest of the field to come through as they continue on to their 2nd lap. Miss Devious goes up into 3rd place there, so she jumped ahead of a couple drivers here, it looks like. Badass here is going to stay in 6th place. One of the drivers that was potentially stricken there. Jakey is burning the 1st lap to get a flyer. You can see him just swinging back and forth there, building some heat up. Jay goes up into 7th place, whereas Ghost goes up into 5th. ATB is in 9th place. All Alright, so Payme is our pole sitter here right now with Lucas 369 in second place, and they're only separated by 3/100ths of a second right now. Jakey coming through, but that lap was a burn lap, as I like to call it. He's just preparing the car for this flying lap. Oh, we got a car stricken here. I'm not sure who that was. That may have been Payme there, as we see Payme now in pit lane. We also have JP sitting in pit lane here, currently sitting in 6th place. And again, only getting 2 laps. You make that big mistake on your second flying lap. We got Badass stricken there as well, so that'll be another racer that's going to probably just pull it into the pits there as well. There's no, you just get out of the way. Let the dry racers that are still on their flying laps go. And that's exactly what we see there from 3 of our drivers. Payme's coming back out just to get a few corners in here before the checkered flag. Get essentially a free practice lap in. So Lucas coming through here. Can he take pole position away? It's another 43, but it's not good enough to take pole away from Payme. So Payme's holding back the fort here for the time being. We have Miss Devious coming through. She's just in behind, I believe, Dylan. Where's Dylan? Dylan's just coming through there. He does improve, and it's going to be still 4th place there for Dylan. Miss Devious coming through here now as well. That's Casio Triangle, that last sector of 3 corners there for the chicane and the final corner is still going to keep her in 3rd position here. We got Ghost coming through next as he's coming into the Casio Triangle and coming out right now. And let's see what he's got here. I'm not sure if he's up or down. He did improve there. He's going to still be in 5th place. JP was in pits there, so this one won't be counting. Jay is going to move up into 3rd place there with a 44.5, so that was a good final lap there for Jay set. ATB is going to move up into 7th position here. We got Nolander coming around. He's up in 10th position, and he's at 47. That's good enough for 9th place there for him as well. We got, down into 10th there as ATB improves, moving up into 8th place as well. So, great job here by all our racers, but it is going to be Payme in pole position with Lucas lined up right beside him, and they're only split by 3/100ths of a second. That is incredibly close. Jakey is right there in 3rd place. He's 1/10 in behind them, and then it's Jay set 1 second separation. So definitely got 3 of our racers here standing out above the rest, so to speak, right now in qualifying, but we all know that racing conditions is a whole different thing. Miss Devious will be in row number 3 here in 5th place, and we'll go through that in a moment's time. Welcome in over on Facebook. We see those reactions over there and appreciate it. Fast laps, great quality. Absolutely. All right, so it is Payme in pole position with Lucas 369 in 2nd place. It's going to be Jakey and TT's J-Set in row number 2. It will be Ten Tenths Miss Devious and Dylan in row number 3. In row number 4 will be Ghost Viper and ATB. In row number 5 will be JP and Team Rad's Nolander. And rounding out the field will be Ten Tenths Badass here this evening. So, great job here to our Pro Division. And it might rain in this race tonight. It is very gloomy here tonight, so let's give them a 2-minute warning and send it. All right, so what do we think about the qualifying run, ladies and gentlemen? That was quick. That was very, very quick right there from Payme and Lucas 369 and Jakey, and then only a second in behind is the rest of the field. So a little bit of separation in the qualifying pace in the drivers, but again, race pace and qualifying are going to be 2 different things, and we still have the big question mark, the big old question mark of, is it going to rain today? It is hard to say. Alright, just doing a quick stream check here, making sure everything is running properly before we get full underway. Because once we get into it, we tend to forget to check sometimes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about a minute's time here to get our race underway this evening. And again, we're going to see a 50-minute battle here, 5-0 from our Pro Division. And we will see the racing medium and racing soft tires required at the start of this race. However, the wild card factor of the weather could change that mandate, and we'll just have to see as the race progresses how it goes. We'll be watching very closely as we get through the first portion of the lap to make sure that everybody gets through neat and tidy and safe and sound, or at least safe and sound anyways, and make sure we got a clean race start, and then it is game on. So every point matters, every position matters, every mistake matters, and penalties are going to be very key here, as the penalty serving zone is in a very peculiar spot here at Suzuka, and it definitely stems momentum down. All right, we'll give it about another 30-second kickoff here. I always like to give a few extra seconds just before we send it. And again, we're trying not to delay the racers too much here. Lots of things factor in. We could have a red flag. That'll delay the race another 10 minutes, give or take. So let's just get to racing. Well, I'm glad they're all ready. I'm glad they're all ready because we're going. That was 2 minutes. All right. Let's bring up that racing information here for everybody so everybody at home can see exactly what we're seeing here on our screen. Kick them tires, light them fires, going prototype racing, folks. And we are waiting for the green. We got 4 reds. We're got on that 5th. The drivers are revving. Green, 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 green. And we are off. Here we go for race start here at Suzuka. And really quickly here, let's get that out. All right, coming into turn number 1 here. Oof, pulled that off nice. And this is a tough spot here. Everybody's on different tire compounds. We're almost 3 wide here as we come into the SS. Ghost Viper and Ten Tenths Misdevious there. They sort out in single file here. And it looks like we got a good start here into the SS. So Payme leads the way here in single file. All the racers go through here. Lucas in 2nd place. We got Jakey in 3rd. Jay here in 4th place. Misdevious right there in 5th. We got Dylan in tow with Ghost Viper right in behind him. ATB right there in 8th place. JP in 9th position here with Nolander right on his tail, and Badass right there as well. So as we head through the Dagners, there we go. We've got a driver stricken there. That was, I believe, that may have been Lucas. And now Payme here in the lead with Jakey in 2nd. We got Jay in 3rd. We got Misdevious in 4th. We got Ghost in 5th. And he's side by side there with Misdevious. A small amount of contact there between the two. Ghost got a good run out of there. She may not have been aware that he was there. And a little bit of contact there, but they sort themselves out, get back in line, and they continue moving in a forward direction here. We got ATB in 7th. We got JP in 8th. We got Nolander in 9th. We got Badass in 10th. And we got a big cluster here heading through Spoon Curve. And oh boy, let's get into this mid-pack here as we are 5 deep heading up into 135R, and Jason's going to move up the inside here on, I believe that was Jakey, and Jakey not getting a great run through Spoon Curve there. He's dropping back a couple of positions, and it is very close quarters as we head into the Casio Triangle. We have 10 of our 11 racers all right there, potentially all 11. So it's Payme around first, and he's got a quick lead here, 3.8 seconds. Ten Tenths Misdevious is now up into 2nd place with Ghost Viper into 3rd position. That moves Dylan up into 4th place here, and as Jakey getting the position on Jay set through the Casio Triangle back up into 5th place. Jay now into 6th position here in behind him. We've got Nolander all the way up into 7th position. And ooh, just a little tap there as the car's accordion up there, and that is going to be ATB moving up ahead of Nolander there, and it is what it is right there. You can't check up the field any more than that, so everybody does make it through. A little bit of damage on a couple of the cars here. We got Lucas just in 11th place here. He's just settled in right now, and he knows that he's got a lot of work ahead of him here right now in order to get back up to this man here up in the front, SV's Payme. So it's 4.5 second lead over now. Ghost Viper in 2nd place. Misdevious here is now fending off the charge from 4th place driver Dylan here. So let's sit on with this battle here as Dylan gets a good run there, but they both take a little bit of a wide exit, get into that curbing there. That is a little dicey there, dipping those tires off into the curbing here. So nice tight entries from both these racers here, and Jakey closing in behind us. Now a three-way battle for this final podium position here, but Misdevious hits a small little break here out of the hairpin as we head into Spoon Curve. Now it's kind of Jakey and Dylan we're keeping our eye on here, as they are much closer together at the moment than Dylan and Misdevious is, but now again closing back up, and now very soon to be a 4 or 5 way battle for second place here, as these racers, they're not giving each other a millimeter here right now. Those little gains, those little mistakes are very quickly capitalized on, but not taken advantage of. Payme is the only one here so far that's been able to take advantage of a mistake in front or in behind him here. Everybody else has stayed really close together here. There's just a second gap, 0.6 of a second there. Dylan closing back in on Misdevious there. J-Set now into 5th. Jakey down into 6th place here. He's got some damage on that car. We've got JP and Lucas there, and he's going with the big over-under there, and a little bit of an instinctual move there as JP floated up high. I think he had just react there, and that was just a move up into the inside there, and now Lucas going up the inside of Jakey. He's going to go in super deep into turn number 1 there. I think there was a small amount of contact there between JP and Jakey, and it is just falling apart here in this early stint here for Jakey, but he's gathering it up. He's got it back on track. He's going to continue moving up the racetrack here, and it is racing here at Suzuka today from our pro division. That is for sure. Whew. All right. We got Leandro coming in with the share and the heart on the stream. Chris coming in with the heart on the stream as well. We appreciate y'all. Let's keep rocking and rolling. So it is Payme here in the latest. Ghost Viper 26 here in second place. 4.5 seconds is the gap. Ghost managing that gap, not letting Payme get any further ahead. Steve is closing back in on Ghost Viper here, just in within a second here right now. But Dylan is also still right there tracking on Misdevious, 1 second in behind, and TT's J-Set 1.5 seconds in behind them. So anything can really change right there in that little group of cars. And then just a little bit further behind is JP, Badass, and Jakey. Now Jakey is just gathering himself back up here after a very eventful 2.5 laps here for him now, and some clean air. He can start to settle in here, and now it is seek and destroy here for Jakey, so we'll see how he manages his way, trying to charge back up through the field here as well with Lucas. We have Nolander here in 10th position, and it's been a lot of up and down here throughout the field. We got ATB here in 11th place and a little bit back here, so I'm not sure if he just had it off or what's going on there. Maybe returning a position and gave up a little bit too much time there, but spicy racing here at Suzuka. We still have a dry racetrack. That's what matters. We got Ghost Viper here in second position, and that gap still just maintaining at about the 4.5 second mark here, and getting a little bit wide there into the entry in turn number 1 there. But Misdevious is still sitting strong there in 3rd place, with Dylan right there in behind in 4th position. We got J-Set still in 5th place there as well. So not too much has changed here right now, and they're starting to settle in. The tires are starting to work with the drivers a little bit here underneath these race cars now, and the pace is starting to kick in. So we got Lucas here 6.4 seconds in behind 5th place. He's ahead of JP here right now. JP is about a half second in behind our championship points leader here right now, and he's got Badass right in tow in 8th place, and Jakey making that ground up here. 1.7 seconds currently is that gap between Badass and Jakey. So it's Nolander here in 10th place. 4 seconds is that gap, and ATB here in 11th position and a little bit back here. So we know he's got the pace. He's just got to lock it in there and keep on pushing here, and there is still plenty of race left. 43 minutes of racing left here. The weather could factor into this thing. Yeah, anything can happen here tonight. It is a wild card of a race. You can see it's very misty, very foggy out there. You can see it's very cool on the track. The wind is about 12 feet per second. I would say southwest, southwest, I guess is what that would be, give or take. And it's Payme here currently leading the charge here. So it's 4.9 seconds. So now it's starting to open the gap up here a little bit on Ghost Viper, and Misdevious is tucked right in here in 3rd place as well, and that gap is just a 1/4 second there as we came into the Casio Triangle. As we come out, Ghost, it's a little bit of a better pull out of there. He's going to grab a couple of tenths, and now heading down into turn 1 is going to be slipstream battling here, as each driver is trying to gain just a couple extra miles an hour, but not going to be close enough here to make a move this time around. So going to have to just continue to work on trying to apply the pressure there to Ghost to see if she can get second place away, or maybe she's just sitting there pacing with him here right now as well. It's hard to say. We've got Dylan here in 4th place. He's still right there in the conversation. He's just maintaining that 1 second gap, and J-Set's just right there as well, 1.7 seconds back. Lost a couple tenths there last time around, and Lucas here is about 6.5 seconds back. So just maintaining here right now. We've got Badass in 7th place. We got Jake here in 8th. Jake is closing in on the 7th 7th place driver here. JP here in 9th position, and you can see with the cloud cover, it is a little bit dark here on the racetrack. We actually see our low end of the lights on here in the LMP1 car. That's not full blast of what the lights can do here on these cars, but the lights are definitely on here on all our racers' race cars. So it is dark conditions here on the racetrack. Now it is late morning conditions, but it is the cloud cover that is setting the tone or the haziness here in our race today, and it's really providing a cool racetrack. Now with that being said, that may actually gain our racers some tire wear advantage here today, especially in this first stint when they're coming out with full fuel. That could be a plus for our racers here today with the cooler track conditions, but it also makes it a little bit tougher to get your tires up to condition and up to temperature, maybe where we've seen some of those earlier mistakes from some of our racers here at the beginning stages of this race. So, and Miss Stevie is closing in under braking here as we head through the Casio Triangle, but so does Dylan. So very quickly a three-way battle here right now for second place essentially, and as we head up the straightaway here to start lap number 6, we're almost 9 minutes in. We are 9 minutes in now. We still have nothing changing here between second, third, and fourth place. Oh, and there it is. Miss Devious gets a good run through turn number 1, pokes a nose in there, backs out. Ghost was coming in on the apex there. She recognized that, so there was no contact there between the two, and she is tucked right in behind here now. So testing the waters, potentially maybe looking for that spot to make the move on him there. We have seen him go wide there a couple of different times here so far in the race as well. Maybe Miss Devious is in tune to that. Maybe she took a little swing at things there. She's just testing the waters, testing the grip under the car, maybe seeing how the car was going to react coming into that position. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on that here maybe next time around. But we're just kind of flipping through the field here real quick, seeing where everybody's at. And some of the drivers definitely just making little mistakes here, and those little mistakes in these cars typically cost a good solid second. So every time you make that little mistake and the driver in front and the driver behind doesn't, that's a second lost or a second gain, depending on which way you're looking at it. So right now it's Paymay 5 seconds up the road. Ghost is doing a pretty good job here in second place right now, maintaining that gap here on Paymay. We got Miss Devious and Dylan here in third and fourth place, and I mean, this is close quarters here. They are nose to tail. Dylan is just been chilling in behind Miss Devious here for a large portion of this first stint, and it just makes me wonder when he's going to make an attempt at a move here as well, because much like Miss Devious may be potentially looking for weaknesses in Ghost Viper's race, Dylan could potentially be looking for weaknesses in Miss Devious's race here as well. And you got J-Set just off in the background here as well. So it's a mental game here in the sense, it's a mind game in a sense here behind the wheels of these very fast race cars as well. Miss Devious gets a good charge here on Ghost, and are we going to see it? We wanted to make sure we were watching here, and we've seen her go extremely deep into this corner the first time around, and the Ghost actually just kind of lets up just a tiny little bit there to make sure that they get clear. So Miss Devious is going to move up into second place there, and that was a pretty good suspicion there, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. It just looked like she was testing the waters there that last time we were watching it, but Ghost coming back here in the S's, and we're side by side here now, and there might have been a small little touch there, but Ghost is going to tuck it right back in here as we head up into the Dunlop curve, and Ghost trying to respond back here, and we got a battle on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen, and Dylan's just sitting here in fourth place going, all right, we got a fight here. I'm ready, let's go, I'm here. And Jason's just off in the background, so Ghost is going to get the charge here up the inside, but it's going to put him on the outside into the hairpin. Miss Devious has that inside line. Ghost is going to have the tough hold there, and he's going to get the power down, and Dylan is going to try and follow Miss Devious through here. You can see Jason just in the background there, just trying to wheel himself into this battle here right now, and it's a good battle here right now between Miss Devious, Ghost, and Dylan, and Ghost gets just stays ahead of Dylan here. A good defensive battle happening right now in third place by Ghost Viper while he's trying to attack Miss Devious at the same time, and we have a race on our hands here right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is great for Paymay. He's just going to continue to open the gap up in the race lead here right now, but boy, oh boy, what a juicy battle we have on our hands right now. This is a lot of fun. Let's keep going with it. All right, make sure everything's working perfect. Heading into the Casio Triangle here now. We have seen Miss Devious be a little bit better under braking there. There goes, oh, she gets the tank slapper. She comes around the first part of the Casio Triangle there. Ghost reacts. He gets the over-under there. He gets around cleanly. Miss Devious now is under threat from Dylan here to lose third place to Dylan. And does a great job of keeping the car on track and moving in a forward position, and now being able to at least defend the position here coming into turn number 1. And Dylan goes in a little bit too high, maybe catching some of the marbles there. That's going to pull him outside the racetrack a little bit there, and that's That's going to take the pressure off of Misdevious, and now it's going to put the pressure on Dylan here as 10 tenths J-Set has closed right up with that mistake there, and he is right on Dylan's rear bumper here now in 5th position. So, boy, it is racing right here. Suzuka. Lucas is 6.4 seconds in behind J-Set, which means he is catching up as well. We've got Jakey here in 8th place. We've got JP in 9th. He is right there in behind Jakey. We've got Nolander in 10th place, and we got ATB in 11th position. And not a lot has really changed as far as the gaps goes. Go here between our racers. So 8-second gap from our race leader to Ghost Viper now in 2nd place. Ghost Viper has a little bit of a cushion here right now. He has 1.2 seconds over Misdevious here in 3rd position. We've got Dylan here in 4th place. It's about 1.3 seconds separating her from him as well, but he still has J-Set hounding him here now in 5th place. So, like I said, when these drivers are battling, that is good for the drivers chasing and the drivers trying to run away, because that little bit of battle is costing these drivers time. J-Set was about 2 seconds in behind, almost 1.8, and now he is tucked right in to the slipstream of Dylan here as we head into the Casio Triangle for the 8th time today, and we're now trying to see if he can find a way to make a pass here on Dylan or continue to apply the pressure, maybe force him into a mistake. Now, Jay just watched him make a mistake coming into turn number 1 and 2 last time around, but he was in a side-by-side battle with his teammate up in front, Misdevious, so those are things that are going to be definitely in the bank. And as we say that, Dylan just closes up on Misdevious, goes super late into turn 1 and 2 there, and in reality that gained him a couple tenths in the grand scheme of things there, but definitely could have cost him a lot more if he didn't get right. J-Set is still right there. He didn't even shake Jay one little bit there. So we got Badass here in 6th place. He's got 9.9 seconds to teammate up in front. We got ERA Jakey chasing here in 7th position, is 4.3 seconds in behind Badass. We got JP is 1.7 seconds in behind Jake, so losing a little bit of pace over Jake. We got Nolander in 9th position here. We got ATB in 10th. We got Lucas making a pit stop here. So our first of our racers to make the pit stop, and this may very well be a audible call here on pit strategy to try and make some time up after whatever happened in Degner 2. At the beginning of the race here, so we did miss what happened there, but we also know the nature of the Degners, and with these cars being so low to the ground, you get a little too much of that inside curbing and potentially just unsettled his race car. He just went off the track, and we're not sure, we're just speculating, or maybe there was a little bit of contact. It was very close quarter racing at that point in the race, but nonetheless he is now on the recovery drive here, and it's kind of got implications as we head towards round number 10. It should be very interesting. Go JNTT, get in there, Jay, says Cobra, says Savannah. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Murray coming in with the heart. TC Gaming coming in with the heart on the stream as well. We appreciate everybody. Appreciate all those reactions. Let's keep racing. All right, so the pit stop sequences are now starting to take place here. We got Misdevious is going to take over the race lead here as we go around, and we've seen Dylan attempt that outside line into turns 1 and 2 here 3 laps in a row, and it just doesn't seem to be working for him. Now, he's either just misjudging his braking point there, or he's trying something out there and he's just getting some information, and it's costing him a little bit of time right now, but maybe now is the time to be testing some of these things. But three laps in a row there, we haven't seen the ideal corners 1 and 2 there from Dylan in 2nd place. We got JP here in 5th place. We've got Payme after his pit stop comes out in 6th position, and he's 10.9 seconds ahead of Ghost. We've got Nolander here in 8th place, with Jakey very close in behind here now in 9th position, and this is after a pit stop as well. We have Lucas coming out in 10th place, and ATB is just filling up his car here right now and just exiting the pit lane. So here we go. 10 tenths Misdevious now, 2.5 seconds up the road from Dylan here in 2nd place, and Jay here is about 1 second in behind. So not a lot has changed here between here. Misdevious open up the gap just a little bit more to Dylan. We got Badass here in 4th position right now, and you can see the sun is starting to poke out here on our racetrack today, actually, so that is a good sign for our racers. And it's going to be interesting to see how that changes their strategy. They're coming out on potential lighter fuel loads now, and they're going to be coming out on maybe some of the faster tire compounds here, and and the racetrack is starting to warm up a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes how these cars feel here in the second part of this race. So we got Ghost here up in 7th place, we got Jake in 8th, we got Nolander in 9th, we got Lucas here in 10th, and we got ATB in 11th. Now this is about halfway through a pit stop sequence. Dylan is going to go around again here. He's going to take over the race lead. Jayset's going to follow him through. Misdevious and Badass both make pit stops here. We've got Payme in 5th place. Should grab those spots away from our driver sitting in pit lane. He's going to get ahead of JP, Badass, and Misdevious there, and that's going to put him back up into 3rd place. And he should grab the spots from Jayset and Dylan once they make their pit stops here as well. The gap only being 16 seconds to the race leader from 3rd place. Should be more than enough time to cover that pit stop. I believe it's about a 35 to 40 second pit stop if you're not taking a full tank of fuel. And Ten Tenths, Misdevious, and Ghost Viper are extremely close together here. Have a second separating the two. So Ghost on the undercut, Misdevious on the overcut here, and Ghost is on what we like to call scrubbed in tires. So he has a little bit of heat in those tires. They got a little bit of wear on them there, as you can see on the screen. That means he's got a little bit of grip underneath of him, where Misdevious has to fight her car into that optimal racing condition. However, she is the lead car, which means she does have the advantage of playing defense and can just park the car in the apex, and Ghost is going to have to make a decision either just to hang it tough, wait till she makes a mistake, or make the hard pass on the outside. And there is certain corners on this racetrack where that is just not an option. And then Ghost gets a great run heading out of Degner 2 right there, and as we head into the hairpin, he is going to be looking for an over-under here as he comes out, and nope, he's just going to settle right back in behind Misdevious. He used the slipstream here, and let's see what happens now as we head into Spoon Curve. So this is a battle for 4th position here between the two drivers, and it's been a good racy battle here between the two of them so far at Suzuka this evening, that's for sure. And as they come around here, it is still Ghost here, just applying all kinds of pressure. Maybe try to force the opponent into making a mistake this early on, knowing that they're not quite on scrubbed in racing tires yet, and not putting any dangerous pressure where he might make a mistake as well, but putting enough pressure on there to try and see if she makes the mistake and opens up a hole for him there is what it looks like. So Dylan is our race leader here. He's got 13 seconds on Payme. He's definitely bleeding time here now to Payme, so pit stop's definitely going to be in order there. Jay is in pit lane here, and as he's sitting in pit lane, we've got side-by-side battle between Ghost and Misdevious, and Misdevious again on that defensive track coming in there, and she is going to make Ghost work for this, and he is going to get a good run there, but she's on the apex and blocks that charge, so he's going to have to check it up, and he's going to have to settle back in behind. And now we've got Jayset and Jakey in 5th and 6th place in behind these two, fighting it out here as well. So here we go, game on. All right, we got to try and keep track of both these battles at the same time here. Jakey is putting a lot of pressure here on Jayset right now. He is right on his quarter panel right there, just absolutely almost pushing him around the corner there close, and just trying to see if Jay's going to make that mistake there. You know, you catch that racer looking in the rearview mirror just a hair too long there, and they make a mistake coming under braking, and that's sometimes all it takes to get that hole opened up. So sometimes filling the rearview mirror with your race car is all it takes sometimes to force a racer into an uncharacteristic mistake, so to speak. But there we go, Jakey getting around Jayset, and it was in the hairpin there, and we're definitely going to have to go back and take another look at that. Just a good side-by-side action there, and he actually got it done coming out of Degner 2, leading into the hairpin, so he had to position into the braking zone there. And then we've got Badass and what looks to be Lucas in behind there as well. So battles all over the racetrack here in the middle part of the stint. So let's go take a look at what's happening there as well. We've got Dylan now in pit lane, which means Payme will take the race lead back. We'll take a look at that gap here in a few moments' time, but it is a good battle here between Lucas and Badass as well as we head into 135R here for the 12th time lead into the Casio Triangle here, and it is just Lucas settling in behind Badass through the sector here for the time being. So interesting strategies at play here. Right, Payme has 18 seconds. So Payme has gained a sizable amount of time here on the pack getting that free early break there. So whatever happening to Lucas and Degner too, there opened up an opportunity to start building a gap, and he definitely took full advantage of that opportunity. This here has been a pretty feisty battle all race long between Ghost and Misdevious. We've got Jakey here. He's been paddling back and forth through the grid here from podium down to about 6th, 7th place all race long. He's now currently got himself back up in the 4th place, and he's 2.2 seconds in behind Misdevious. Jay set here 1 second in behind him, as we just seen Jakey making the pass around him just a little while ago. We've got Badass right here, and he is just in behind Dylan, who come out of pit lane in 6th position, and we just had a change for 2nd position here as well. So let's go take a look at that real quick, as we missed it. We missed it a little while back there. Ghost Misdevious trying to get a nose in there and just unable to make it happen there. So it was an attempted pass, I think we just seen there, or from Misdevious, but Ghost has been in behind Misdevious here since the pit stop sequence, and now they have changed 2nd place around between the two of them here. So it's Misdevious now chasing Ghost here, and Jakey is closing in quickly. He's a 2nd there. Ghost gets a little bit wide on that first entry there, and that's going to tighten the 3 drivers up here. So now a 3-way battle for 2nd place here. Ghost is going to lose 2 quick positions there, as Misdevious now moves up into 2nd place. Jakey moves up into 3rd place, and whatever little mistake that Ghost made there, and is he had that wide entry into the first chicane there, and then he had the compromised 2nd chicane, and I think he probably just went a little wide on the racetrack, had to check up, and he had 2 racers right there, so he just had to give the position up, and I think that's just smart racing is probably what happened there. That's just speculation without seeing it, but Jakey gets around Misdevious into turn 1 and 2 and quite handily. It looks like Misdevious didn't really fight him there. She just kind of checked up a little bit extra to let him go around, and then just continued on in 3rd place here. So now Ghost is closed right back up into 4th place, and J-Set is in the conversation there, so 3-way battle for 3rd place now. And then our championship points leader, who's just been lurking in the mid-pack here for a large portion of this race after an incident in Degner 2 here on lap number 1, is now closing in 3.2 seconds and quickly closing in. Dylan right there and behind him, 2.5 seconds back as well. Got JP here in 8th position with Nolander in 9th. We got ATB in 10th place here, and then we've got Badass in 11th position. So Payme just moving and grooving here right now. Not a whole lot going on there for that man. We've got Jakey here in 2nd position, and he's got 2 seconds now over that 3-car battle for 3rd place here. So Jakey has checked out, so to speak, here very quickly on the 2nd stint, and now he's going to try and chew into that 22-second gap that Payme has opened up on the field here. So it is a big task here, and Jakey feels like he is up to the challenge. So let's see if he can do it. And Misdevious coming around here. Nothing has changed in this 3-way battle for the time being, but you can see Lucas is lurking in the background there. So it really is anybody's game. I think we got Nolander up ahead here, and this is going to be a blue flag situation here shortly, as the 3 drivers are coming in through the S's, and this is a difficult spot to run into some traffic as well. Not sure which racer that is actually, but some great racing right here by these 3 all race long so far, really. Just moving and grooving, these 3 right now, and they've all got whatever it is going on in their head right now. They got whatever's going through their mind. When is he going to attack? Is he playing nice? Is he working with me, or is he just waiting for me to mess up, or what's his deal back there? And then Ghost is thinking the same thing with Jay. But Ghost is also thinking, well, can I attack here, or should I just sit here? All 3 of us seem to have pretty good pace, but do I feel like I'm a little bit quicker? Maybe I should try to make my way around. You can see Jakey's just up ahead there as well still. So I mean, so much going through these racers' minds right now. And then we got this man here, Lucas. He's had a rough start to the race. He's collected himself back up. He's got himself starting to close back in towards the front end of the field here. I mean, he's still got 30 seconds to pay me right now, but the important thing is he's only got 2 seconds to that 3-car battle up in front of him here, being led by Misdevious. So potentially a 4-way battle starting to brew here as Lucas continues to charge on lap 15. seen, but we're definitely keeping our eyes on this three-way battle. Jay's going to take a look up the inside here on Ghost. He's going to go super late on the brakes, and he is going to get the job done. Ghost didn't even see him slip through there. He went through there so quickly and actually got into the rear quarter panel a little bit, but no harm, no foul there between the two racers, and Jason making a very decisive move right there into the Casio triangle, and he sent it through there. He absolutely made sure that he was going to get that job done right there and then by sending it in really late on the brakes, and that's going to pay off for him here as Miss Devious is going to make the mistake now in third place, and Jay set in a series of a handful of corners is going to find himself now sitting in the final podium position here, so persistence pays off. Now up into third place, Miss Devious here in fourth position with Ghost still right there in fifth place, now looking for a way to attack, and now Lucas is in this fight, so four-way battle here now for this final podium position, and man, mid-pack is stealing the show tonight. Look at these racers race. These guys and gals, they are giving it everything they got here week in and week out. They all know what's on the line here, and every point matters for every one of these racers. They have a goal in mind. They're all trying to get to a certain point, and Lucas takes a look up the inside on Ghost Viper, leaving it into the hairpin there, and it's a side-by-side drag race as we come out of the hairpin, now leading in towards Spoon Curve, and it looks like it's going to be Ghost Viper to hold the position for the time being, but Lucas is still just hanging into that inside position, and he's just going to have to settle back in behind here as Ghost defends the position. Jason looks like he goes wide into Spoon Curve there. That is going to cost him 4 positions here, as now Badass is going to get the job done here as well. So unfortunate there for Ten Tenths J-Set, just making a mistake heading into the second part of Spoon Curve there, getting outside into that dusty curbing, and that cost him some positions here on the racetrack as Miss Devious is going to go back up into third place. Ghost Viper moves up into fourth, Lucas moves up into fifth, Dylan jumps into sixth place here, and Jake moves down into seventh position, so 4 spots lost there. But this is a very difficult racetrack right here, and I mean, what can you say? These racers are giving it everything they got here, and Jake is cutting into Paymay's lead. It's not significant here, but he's got it down to about 4 or 5 tenths he's knocked out of that gap since the last time we were able to check here. But Paymay's doing a great job, and this battle has not ended here. We got Lucas now up into third place. We got Ghost and Miss Devious now battling it out here. Ghost has moved ahead of Miss Devious. Miss Devious is down now into 5th position here, and now we've got Dylan charging here in 6th place, and he is all over the back of Miss Devious here, and this battle has not let up at all here in the middle part of this race. This is a dogfight for this last podium position here, but Lucas, I mean, he's trying to check out right now. He is got onto the podium here, and now he's trying to track back in on Jacob Paymay here, so we'll have to wait and see here, but he is already opening the gap up here on Ghost Viper. Ghost Viper's opening a small gap up here on Miss Devious and Dylan here as they continue to have their small little battle here right now for that position, but not really a battle. Dylan is not getting a lot of room to try and make a move here on Miss Devious being the first thing, so he's just kind of sitting in behind and not really trying to force a move right now, maybe waiting for a mistake, but absolute juicy racing here so far tonight on this Suzuka racetrack, and as the weather continues to improve here at Suzuka, it seems like the racing starts to amp up. So Jakey doing everything he can to try and reel Paymay in here. It's 22 seconds. Lucas here has 8 seconds to Jakey up in front of him there, so 30 seconds total there to Paymay, and both those guys have a tall order ahead of them. They want to try and take that checkered flag on the top of the podium here today. Ghost Viper here is in 4th place, and I mean, these 4 or 5 racers here tonight, they have just not let each other go at all. Even if one of them seems to make a mistake, it's like 1 or 2 laps later, we're all tucked back together here and we're fighting for that position again. So Miss D, ooh, big hit there on the rear of Miss Devious from Dylan there, and he's just going to move up the racetrack, get out of the way of J-Set there as well. And I mean, he didn't, obviously that was just a mistake under braking there. He was just slipped in behind there and just came in under braking a little bit faster than Miss Devious did there, and got into the back end, really threw her for a little bit of a wiggle there, but she recovered it well, and being the sportsman he is, he just lets up, gives the position back, and then sees Jay is going to move up the inside there, so he just, instead of fighting Jay for the position, he just gives it to him there, and I think that was just a bid to not cost himself any extra time here either. I mean, they are still in this fight. Ghost Viper is still just up ahead there as well. We are going to see another pit stop here, I'm sure, yet today as well. So race is far from over still, even as we're at 31 minutes into it here. So it is Paymay in race lead, 22 seconds. The gap isn't really changing too much right now, and that gap there between those two staying pretty steady. Lucas is 3.5 seconds ahead of Ghost Viper here right now, and I mean that could change here too as well. It's so easy to make a mistake at Suzuka here. We've got Mysterious in 5th, Jay in 6th. We got Dylan in 7th place here, and it almost looks a little rattled there. It's like he's just backed off a little bit here. He needs to get back into his groove, into his rhythm here, and get back into that dogfight up there for those positions up there. But sometimes just that little mistake, sometimes like that, rattles the driver. So hopefully everything's okay in Dylan's machine there. But he looks like he is just a little rattled after that contact there. I mean, it was just a mistake. It's just a simple mistake. It happens. We've got ERA's Jakey here in 2nd place. We see some pit stops. As we talk about pit stops, we're starting to see that sequence start to kick in. So we got Ghost up into 3rd place. Jay here now in 4th position with Dylan in 5th place. We got JP here in 6th position. We got Lucas in 7th place. Mischievous in 8th and ATB in 9th. So Mischievous coming in early as opposed to looking at an overcut here this time, coming in at the same time as a couple of our drivers, our championship points leader in ATB there. So badass here up into 7th position. Lucas comes out in 8th with Mischievous right in behind him. ATB is just getting that car fueled up there with the gas man doing his thing, and Nolander rounding out the field here. So these racers are giving it everything they've got here tonight, but it is Paymay leading the charge. So let's just stick with Paymay here. Let's see if Paymay is going to make that stop, and he is. Let's see what Jake is going to choose to do here. The bigger question is do the drivers that are in 2nd and 3rd place know what the tire strategy from the race leader is right now? Are they aware of that? Have they been made aware of that by their pit crews? Are their pit crews, have they been paying enough attention to be aware of what tires that the race leader has been using here so far in the first 2 pit stops of this race? We have not seen any rain here today, so that medium tire is still on the requirement list here for today. And then seeing that this would be the scheduled final pit stop of a dry race, that means the drivers that have been trying to potentially maybe not use the medium tire are now going to have to finish the race on the medium tire. With that being said, that is our race leader Paymay, but no, he took the medium, in the middle stint there. So he is on that soft tire, so he should be able to manage what he's got here. Jay in 2nd place, but he is going to have to make another pit stop here potentially. We've got Dylan in 3rd place. We got JP here in 4th. We've got Jakey up into 5th position here with Lucas in 6th place after his pit stop. Mischievous are in 7th place. Losing touch with him quickly here though. 3.4 seconds is that gap. Lucas is on the charge. We got Ghost Viper here in 8th place. He's going to come out 4.3 seconds in behind Mischievous there. Got ATB in 9th place. He's closing in under 10 seconds on Ghost there. Nolander just coming out of pit lane. Coming down the start-finish line. He pit last lap around, that's correct. And that leaves Ten Tenths Badass coming out here just in behind in 11th position. So it looks like Mother Nature is playing fair today. Alright, so it is Jace at 2.3 seconds in behind Paymay. That's the closest they've been to Paymay's bumper here for a large part of this race here. Dylan is right there in behind, starting to close in here as well on Jay on 3/4 of a second, so definitely well into the slipstream range here. And you can see he's going to close up a little more under the brakes here as well, heading into the Castro Triangle there. And you can see JP just in 4th place there off in the distance. But again, some of these drivers still are yet going to make another pit stop here, so we did see very late pit stops in the first stint from Jason and Dylan, so we do expect to see a similar style strategy here leading into the end of our race as well, where we're going to see, I think, a very short final run from those drivers. Got JP here, he's in 5th. He's just getting that pit stop now through here, and as Lucas comes around, that should be close for Lucas to grab the position or be right there battling for it here as JP comes out of pit lane, but he is going to beat JP out of the pit exit there, and he is going to move into 5th position. Mischievous is just coming up track here, and JP comes out just ahead of Mischievous there in pit lane, in plenty of time there to take the apex of the corner. Mischievous just tucks right in behind, and she is on tires that are, as we like to call, scrubbed in, so should have a small advantage over JP currently. She's just coming out of pit lane and on some cold racing tires, and we've watched a couple of these situations here already tonight, but JP has a good 4/10 of a second right now on Miss Devious, and as we head in through the Degners and in towards 135R and Spoon Curve, this is where we could potentially see that early attempt from Miss Devious on JP if she can close in. Now, also another little fun fact, JP and Ten Tenths Miss Devious here, that's RA's JP as well from Race Asylum. These drivers, both these racers, are both racing in the VR2 headset here in this championship as well. So the rest of our racers here in the Pro Division are driving just on their TVs or their computer monitors, whichever it is. And these two right here are in that VR2 headset. So they have a different look at the racetrack, and they have a lot of visual disadvantages in a sense than the rest of the racers as well. So it's been an intriguing mixture in the championship as well, having the VR2 and our regular racers all together on the racetrack. And this is a battle of the VR2 between these two here right now, Miss Devious and JP. So you got to assume, ladies and gentlemen, that racing at these speeds and these cars in a competitive nature with so much on the line, that this cannot be an easy task. I'm sure it is probably very immersive, and I'm sure that it is extremely fun. Now, I do know that Miss Devious has she's been racing in the PlayStation VR for quite some time now. It's nothing unfamiliar for her. She's quite used to it. She's very good at it, and it shows here in her racing on the screen here as well. But her and JP are having a good feisty battle here. JP's been doing a good job at keeping her at bay here and keeping Miss Devious in behind them, but Miss Devious is not going to let him just get away that easily. She is going to continue to apply the pressure here and look for a potential opening, maybe to make a move, or maybe she's just going to sit in behind JP here for a few laps and wait till a little bit closer in near the end of the race. Not sure what these drivers are all thinking right now, but this man, Peme, 7.6 seconds up ahead of Dylan here, who's now battling with J-Set for second here on the racetrack. So heading into 135R side by side. Not an easy task to do. Great job there by the two racers. Dylan is going to move up into second place ahead of J-Set. Whether or not these two choose to pit this time around, that's an important pass there for Dylan, because that means he's going into pit lane before J-Set if they choose to make the pit stop. And it looks like Dylan's going to go around one more time, and Jay's actually going to peel into pit lane and make that pit stop. So that's going to bring Jakey back around and move him up into third position here ahead of J-Set. Lucas here in fifth place, and it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation here to J-Set as well. It's Cody B up in the house with the leg. How you doing, my guy? Hope you're doing fantastic. Alright, so Lucas does take that position away from Jay. Jay's going to come out here in fifth place, but it is JP and Miss Devious tracking here in sixth and seventh position here in behind him. And again, they're in those scrubbed in, warmed up racing tires. He's on those cold racing tires, so he's got a little bit of work to do here to try and not let them close up too quickly here as they're up to ideally optimal racing conditions here. We got a little bit of damage on that windshield or left light cover there from Ten Tenths Badass's car there as well. So a little bit of trouble there for him at some point in the race. And I think a few of the racers have had a little bit of a struggle in some portion of this racetrack, whether it's meant contact with another car or a barrier. But it looks like that not too many of our cars, our Peugeots, are going to come out unscathed here today at a very difficult technical racetrack here as well. So it wouldn't be a day of racing at the racetrack if there wasn't a couple of broken body parts laying around the paddock. Just saying, you know, that's pretty par for the course. But it is Lucas 369 here, and he's got 11 seconds to the podium here right now, so it's a big ask with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Miss Devious and JP here are still very close together, but JP is starting to try and open the gap back up. He's got about 6/10 of a second currently here over Miss Devious in sixth position. Alright, so Dylan now making his pit stop. We're seeing his tires were getting pretty worse for the wear there. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to the rest of that mid-pack field that he was battling with. We got Ghost here in 7th place with Jay just in behind in 8th. We got Badass in 9th. We got an ATB here in 10th place, and we got Nolander in 11th position. So it is Payme. He's only got 17.2 seconds here over ERA's Jakey right now, so that gap was 22.8 before the pit stop sequence, and now that everybody's siphoned through that pit stop sequence, we can get a better idea to see where our gaps are at. Jakey's not 5 seconds over that 22. Now whether he did that with a mixture of the pit stop and pace, or that is all pace or all pit stop, we're a little unsure, but definitely one of those three things has happened here over the last 3 or 4 laps for our race leaders. Luke is 12 seconds in behind Jake, so Jake is even starting to open the gap on 3rd place a little bit here as well, and Dylan here in 4th place, kind of in no man's land. He comes out in a really good position there on the racetrack after that very short pit stop, so very interesting there, and very, very low fuel he needed to take there as well, but he is on that racing medium tire. All the drivers trying to chase him down right now are racing a soft tire. However, they are on tires that are starting to slowly show some degradation here, as they have put, a few miles here around the racetrack. Of course, it is 5 times tire wear here in the series, which means every time they go 1 lap around Suzuka here today, they're actually doing 5 laps worth of wear on these tires. So the tires are taking a bit of a beating here today for sure. We got Ghost in 7th place with Jay set in 8th position, 3.6 seconds in behind, and then we got a little bit of spacing here in the last 3 spots in the field here. But Jakey continues to close the gap here on Payman. With only 6.5 minutes remaining on the clock, it is a little unfortunate that we don't have another 15 minutes or so left in this race. I think things would really get interesting, but Lucas here is in 3rd place right now. Damage control here, I think, for Lucas 369 right now, as he's just sitting there in 3rd place. Dylan is on much fresher tires than the rest of the pack for sure right now, but he's on the medium tire compared to those soft tires. So again, fresh mediums versus partially worn softs is kind of the debate here. I guess we're going to have to wait and see how that debate works out with just under 6 minutes remaining here as we head in towards Dunlop Curve. The gap between him and Misdevious and JP is 3.2 seconds. So Misdevious did make her way around JP in the last lap and a half here as we're going through the field, but JP has also closed back up on Misdevious here as well since that pass has been made. So these two showing very good pace here in close quarters as well between the two of the racers here. JP gets a really tight entry into the hairpin there. Misdevious gets a good exit and actually going to open that gap up by about 1/10 there on JP, and this is what we call hard racing right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not for a lack of JP, definitely trying to stay nice and tight and close to Misdevious here. Dirty air obviously factors into this. The technicality of Suzuka factors into this. Again, we can see the racetrack is starting to grow grayer, is starting to cool down again here on the racetrack. That's going to change the way the cars feel in the last part of this race as they're wearing down on low fuel and tires as well. Could catch a couple of our racers out here, and as we head through 135 bar, it's an over-under here from JP, but Misdevious gets a good charge through there as well, and under braking into the Casio Triangle. JP is just glued right now to the back bumper of Ten Tenths Misdevious up there in 5th place, and this is allowing Ghost Viper to close back in here as well, in behind, 2.5 seconds back. Now 4.5 minutes remaining, the clouds are coming in, it is getting very dark very quickly here on the racetrack. What is going to happen at the end of this race? Oh, rain for 3 or 4 minutes of this race could absolutely change everything here as well. So I'm sure that the teams are on that weather radar here right now in these cars, as the track conditions have changed quickly here as well. It wasn't a progressive change there. It just went from, hey, it is nice and warm out, to boom. There is some clouds coming into the racetrack here today. So right now, Peme has 4 more minutes here with a 16-second gap over ERA's Jakey in 2nd place. Lucas chasing 14 seconds in behind here in 3rd place. So the top 3 quite spread out, and a large gap there to Dylan in 4th place. A little bit of contact there between JP and Misdevious here coming out at Degner 2. JP is waiting for Misdevious just to get spun back around on track and get back into rhythm here, and this is going to be unfortunate for the 2 racers, as they're going to lose a couple of spots there. Jay's on the inside of Misdevious there as she's just getting back up to speed, trying to get those tires undirty already there, and she's just going to settle back in behind Ten Tenths Jason. So Ghost and Jay are going to move up a spot each there, and Mischievous and JP are going to continue this battle here as they continue up into Spoon Curve, and JP goes up into the inside there. A little bit of contact between the two, a little bit of an ambitious move there. Mischievous just settles back in. There's still 3 minutes on the clock. There's still a couple more laps here for these racers. Going to be keeping our eye on that battle right there with those three. Some fireworks to happen there yet tonight, I think. We got Payme here, though. He's in the race lead, and as he comes in through the Dagners here to head up in towards the Spoon Curve, the gap is 16, a little over 16 seconds to Jakey. So at this point, it's his race to lose. We've got Jakey here currently in second place, coming in the last minute, jumping in the car, getting on track and racing, having a pretty good run here after a shaky start. Lucas here, something happening in Dagner too. Moving down to the back of the pack, using a little bit of strategy, driving really hard, found himself now up into third place. Dylan here is just off that podium here. He's had a good performance all season, coming in late into the season here, and he's going to fall short of the podium here today, it appears, with 2 minutes left on the clock, but the race is not over till all our drivers cross that checkered flag. We got Ghost here in 5th place, and JP here now up into 6th place with Mischievous in 7th, and we got Jay getting himself back up on the racetrack there, and he's got ATB. I just went around him there in 8th place, and now he's got Badass coming in here in 10th place, and that looked like a turn 1-2 mistake there, as he was on the other side of the racetrack on the exit of turn 2 there, so a little bit wide, got himself in trouble there and found himself on the other side of the racetrack is what it appears, and he's going to lose a couple of positions there due to that mistake late in the race here as well. And again, like I said, track conditions are changing quickly. Could catch a couple of our drivers out here, and potentially what we just seen happen there. Jakey here is got it under 16 seconds. I mean, he is working hard here to close that gap on Payme, but would need another hour here at the pace right now that gap is closing to close in on Payme. So great pace between the two drivers, and Jakey is just chipping away, but Payme is the fastest racer on the racetrack right now as well, the 143 flat here, and Lucas is in 3rd place. And like I said, I think this is just a little bit of damage control here coming from Lucas 369 right now as he's in 3rd place. We've got Dylan here in 4th place. We've got Ghost Viper here in 5th position. I mean, he's just bringing that home, cruising. JP here in 6th position as he comes around, and Mischievous just in behind here in 7th place as well. This is our final lap for all our racers here as they come around. We got J-Set just coming through the Casio Triangle there. Got Badass there in coming through there as well. And Nolander just coming up into 135R. All our pros are still on the late lap here as well. Just a notable mention, great job by the Pro Division here this week. I know it's tough for the A drivers to be battling against our A-plus drivers all the time, and hopefully we can find some more really fast A-plus drivers to come and jump into the mix with these guys, and we can have a little bit of a different lobby. And we got Jay Nolander potentially maybe out of fuel there at the end of the lap there as well, or making a mistake and just allowing Payme to go around there. So it does appear, however, though, that Nolander had run out of fuel there. So it's going to be the final lap for Jake. Payme is going to get a victory lap here around the racetrack today, and it's going to be 2nd place finish here for ERA's Jakey. Lucas 369 here, he's going to bring it down towards Casio Triangle here, currently sitting in 3rd place. He's got Dylan 8.8 seconds in behind. He's just got to get through this final sector nice and clean. It's all about car management here at this point. Just get it across the finish line, and you can see him flashing the headlights. So 3rd place finish there for Lucas is going to be Dylan here, and a solid race here coming from Dylan as well. And 4th place, just falling off the podium here today, but a good run nonetheless there coming from Dylan 119. We got Ghost Viper 26. He's going to bring it home here in a 5th place for himself. A great run from him as well. JP is going to bring this thing across the line here in 6th place, and about 1% of fuel there in that tank. Mischievous coming down just in behind there in 7th position. We've got ATB here in 8th place, and he had a good run there. It was a good recovery by the end of the race there for him as well. J-Set just coming around Casio Triangle there in behind, but it's going to be ATB from RA here in 8th position tonight. It's going to be Ten Tenths J-Set coming across the line there in 9th place. Just a disaster at the end of the race there for him. We've got Badass here in 10th position, and Nolander is going to go around again there, so he must have just crossed the line before the timer ran out there. Edward, how you doing, Mike? I appreciate that like on the stream. All right, so it is going to be Paymay with the race win here on that extra lap, victory lap there for Paymay, and we're going to go jump on with Team Rad's Nolander here as he brings it across the line. And the important thing is in sim racing, especially here at GT45 Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, is no matter what, every driver brings it home. Unfortunately, the timer ran out for him, but there was no quit there. There was no give up. He took that thing right down till he couldn't take it anymore. So congratulations to Nolander in 11th place. Not feeling very well here today, a little under the weather, he was saying pre-race. So great job there by Nolander as well. All right, so GG's to all of our racers here. And let's just bring up those unofficial results here. So it is going to be Paymay with pole position, the race win, and the fastest lap point. So he's got to sweep the board here today. And some very vital bonus points taken away from some of these championship contenders here today as well. So, ooh, a little wrench in the program coming here from SV's Paymay. Today is going to be Yari's Jakey in second position with Lucas 369, our championship points leader, finishing in third place. It's going to be Dylan 119 with a good drive here in fourth position, and Ghost Viper finishing in fifth place. JP is going to bring it home in sixth position here for Race Asylum. 10 Tenths Misdevious in seventh place. Race Asylum's ATB in eighth position. It's going to be JSet in ninth place. It's going to be Badass in 10th position. It's going to be Nolander rounding out the field there in 11th place here today. So great job by all of our racers. Not an easy task. All right. Well, yeah, Ghost Viper is going to be the the showpiece on this one. All right, so we are going to move to podium interviews here in just a moment. We're just going to get this shared out here, so our stewards have something to access if they need a deeper dive. And photos also come from the replay as well, so yeah, gotta get that shared out there right away. All right, so let's move it to the podium screen. All right, to the podium screen we go. I gotta open a couple of things, so just bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. This always takes a minute or two, and then we'll go have a chat with some of our podium interviewers. Whoops. Smacking the mic around, if they choose to come in and say a few words, of course. So we're just going to bring that up, and I'll try not to smash the mic around anymore and make loud noises. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it happens. It happens. I got flaily arms. I see two of our podium interviewees ready to go here. They're in there before I am, so that is very punctual of our racers. And you know, I think they enjoy the interviews just as much as we do. So we love to see them come pop in and of course say a few words. So we're gonna go jump in here right now. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so how was that for a race for everybody? Suzuka, round number 9. The potential of rain was most certainly there for all of our racers here today, but Mother Nature had different plans here today. She decided that rain was not going to play a factor into this championship endeavor here in round number 9 for our pros, although it definitely gave our racers a couple of scares here, as you can even see right now at the end of the race that the track was getting quite dark, and I'm not sure how the drivers felt about that rain coming in near the end of the race, but I'm sure that their pit crews were definitely keeping an eye on that weather radar. So with that being said, we had a pretty great race here at Suzuka tonight, and that's going to lead us off into our third place finisher here and our championship points leader coming into tonight's race, Lucas 369. So, great race start by the pros, and then I'm not sure what happened there, but we've seen you off in Degner 2 at the beginning of the race on lap number 1. You fell down to the back of the pack, and progressively and surely, like we've seen come from you a couple of times this season, you just put your head down, potentially changed our strategy up a little bit on the fly, and did everything you could to make up what ground you could. And at the end of the day, with a great solid third place finish. So congratulations on a great recovery drive, and talk us through how your night was.
Yeah, thank you. No, that beginning phase of the race, I thought it was lap 2, but it was. I think it was probably lap 1. I know it was just early on in the race. Went off the Degnas, and I just tried to stay as much left to not affect anyone else. Filed back in line at the tail end and just put in laps, but that was mistake number 1, and then it was followed up by mistake number 2 shortly after, and I was pretty far off at the back. Uh, Peyton got clear. It looked like Jake had a similar issue at the Degnas, something along that lines. No, at 130R. That's right, at 130R. It was kicking off. This race was kicking off everywhere. The battles were definitely up and down the field, aside from Peyton, who was just a rocket ship today. It was a good race, good recovery. A little frustrating at times, of course. It's tough track, tough combo. And yeah, we just gotta move to the season finale and get her done with.
Absolutely, and I mean, every team's gonna be sitting there now in the off week, leading into next week's finale round. Calculating the points, figuring out those drop rounds, figuring out what they need to do, where they need to be, depending on who's gonna be at the track that day, et cetera, et cetera. And it's double points round reverse grid, so definitely a lot to factor in for next week. But this week was no peach in itself. Suzuka is a very mid to high speed, very technical racetrack. It has a lot of flowing corners to it, and it's very difficult to find areas on this racetrack to make an efficient pass. So, with all those things in mind coming in today, I mean, I guess what was the biggest thing on your mind leading into the start of the race?
Everything was fine leading into the start of the race. Just keep it calm, cool, and collected. Start was fine. Qualifying, I think we were the top. All three of us, Peyton, Jake, and myself. I think we were good half a second off of where we should have been. So I'm sure none of us were happy with our times, but we ended up where we ended up. And then yeah, I mean everything went out the window as soon as that incident happened, and it was just frustrating. It's definitely frustrating, but you got to try to reel it back in as soon as you possibly can and just get that head down and move forward. But yeah, thankfully got the points I needed and going into the next round as comfortable as I can be, and just got to survive next round, which is definitely no walk in the park either.
Absolutely, and I mean, like I said, you're using a little bit of strategy. I think in that next pit stop, you definitely pit a lot earlier than the rest of the field started making their pit stop sequence. Now, was that due to the early part of the race, or was that a part of the plan the whole time?
Yeah, no, the incidents that I had coming into it, I knew that there was a possibility to sneak in 29 laps if you could keep it nice and smooth like Peyton did. He got to 29. Jake almost did, but he had two mistakes as well. Again, the 130R mistake, and I think he did have a mistake at the Degnas, but I'll have to ask him here if he's still up, but he's probably asleep now. It's tough. It was tough.
Absolutely, but showing why you're the championship points leader here today, even having a tough racing start here on a tough racing track, you just put your head down, you kept your focus in the task at hand, and had a good recovery drive here, and still found yourself on the podium. So, with that being said, final remarks and shout outs to the viewers watching at home.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, first and foremost, got to thank you, the GT45 community, the administration team, everyone watching, everyone that helps behind the scenes, everyone, all the drivers. Thank everyone showing up tonight. Uh, yeah, and then I got to shout out Peyton. The only reason why he was so good is the livery I made for him, and that's that.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell it's a family and behind the scenes. I mean, all the teams helping each other out, friends helping each other out, making sure that everybody's sorted and got everything ready to go for race day. So, great job there for Lucas giving Payme a hand to get ready for race day as far as his paint work goes. But great race finish here, and definitely can't wait to see what you got for us next week at St. Quasi.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you then.
Cheers, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have Jakey. Jakey is obviously it's like 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, something 4 in the morning, somewhere in around there. So we're not going to see Jakey here in our interviews tonight, and that's a-okay. Then he's probably back off to sleep before he has to go to work in the morning. So appreciate Jakey. It was a great drive by Jakey, and much like Lucas 369, some early mistakes very early on in the race. Got himself locked back in, got focused in, got in behind the wheel, and he was doing a really good job at cutting down the gap towards Payme. But by this point in time, Payme had the gap open up pretty nice and comfortable, and he just had to continue putting in good quality laps for 29 times around the racetrack. I think it was 24. Can't remember what it was, but nonetheless, great drive from you here today. You come in on a tough racetrack with possible tough conditions here today, and you got that very important pole position in qualifying. Got at the head of the pack, got a great start at green flag drop, and then of course your competitors kind of making some mistakes in behind you, gave you an opportunity to take advantage of that, and boy did you take advantage. Open up that early gap, and for the most part, it was pretty much a Sunday drive for you from there. So. Really great race coming here from you today. Showed great pace out there. You and Lucas only split by 3/100ths of a second at qualifying. So, and of course, Jakey was just a 10th and behind in third place there. So let's talk about that. You know, leading into the race start, the racetrack looks like there could potentially be maybe some weather coming in as well at the beginning part of the race. You know that you've got two racers very close to you in qualifying. What's going through your mind before the race start?
I was really iffy on what strategy I wanted to run. Yeah, I want to also take this time to shout out Luke. Thanks for the livery, man. It's the best one I've ever had in my life, and I couldn't thank you enough. Also, thanks for the strategy to help a little bit since I'm not not around to practice as much now. But yeah, just I was I was iffy about the weather. Um, I hadn't had any practice, and I knew that there's a good opportunity for rain at Suzuka, so I kind of wanted to start on the softs just to get away and stay away from traffic. But I knew at the same time if I could start on the mediums out front, then I would have better pace on the mediums than anyone else had if they started on soft or if they started on softs. Yeah, but uh, I mean, I just sent it into the first turn and tried to keep it stuck to the inside as much as I could on race start. Luckily, it stuck, and I do not know what happened behind me, but I saw the time adding up, and I just tried to keep it smooth. And once the time started adding up, I just started saving a little bit of fuel as well, just so I didn't have to fuel up as much. Um, just just had to not make mistakes, make any mistakes. That's about all there was to it.
Absolutely, and I mean, again with the dynamic weather in play, there was a couple of times and a couple of stints, I guess, for the most part here on the track where it was very cool on the racetrack. It was a little bit misty, maybe even hazy in some spots. It looked like potentially there was weather coming in. How much of that was playing on your mind as you were just kind of doing your thing in the lead? Were you watching that more, or were you just kind of in your rhythm and just kind of doing your thing, trying to bring home the checkered flag?
Oh yeah, the I had the weather radar up pretty much. I don't know. I'd probably say 95% of the race, just because I mean it was clear. It was kind of cloudy to start, and then it cleared up a little bit, and then it got really foggy at one point in time. And I think that was after the first pit, and then after the second pit, around lap 19, it cleared up as soon as I came out. So I just wanted to keep an eye on it as fast as it was changing, and we did actually have some rain coming in those last 3 laps, but it actually went to the south of us. So luckily we missed it.
So a little bit of favorable wind here for the racers, it sounds like today, as obviously we don't get that information up in our commentator booth, unfortunately, to get a sneak peek at what may be coming. But the racing crews and the drivers are on it. They're definitely watching that information because obviously they don't want to leave their driver out if they're coming into a wall of water. They'd at least like to know their driver is prepared for such a thing. So, but great race from you here today. It was just really a race of control. Like I said, you got that gap, and you just see, like you said, you started to realize that you were in a comfortable position. You started to save a little bit of fuel, which in turn saves you time in pit lane, which should at least salvage that gap or maintain that gap, if not add to it. And we did see a little bit of that gap increase after your first pit stop, but then Jake really started to press and close in that latter stint there. Was he at all in the back of your mind there in the latter part of that race there as the timing was starting to come down, or was that just you were in control and just kind of doing your thing?
Yeah, I was pretty much in control. Luckily, I knew after that last pit stop how much, or going in to the last pit stop, how much time I had in between him, and it was right around 18 seconds. I think he ended up closing it up to about 15 and a half seconds towards the end of the race, maybe 15. Um, but I actually turned traction control one on and tried to just not make any mistakes and stay in control of the whole race towards the end. But yeah, good race. Good race to him and Lucas as well. Battling back, I know they had some problems early on.
Absolutely, and I mean, tough racing out there at Suzuka. Each of their drivers kind of making their little mistakes, maybe some bigger than others, and it really made for some great racing here on the racetrack today. I mean, it was yeah, you were in front of it all and didn't really see what happened, but with the mistake of Lucas, I gave you a quick little cushion early on, and then from about second place through seventh place for the large part of the first stint and the early part of the second stint, they just really had a great battle for a large part of the race, swapping those positions around, battling for those couple podiums, and ultimately all that battling just allowed you to continue to grow that lead and ultimately get you on the fast track to another race win here this season. So congratulations on another great drive, and any final remarks and shout outs to the viewers watching at home.
Yeah, just thank you for having me, and thanks for putting this on. It's been a blast what I've been able to race this season, and I really enjoy prototypes and high downforce. So all of that 51 minutes I just did, I was pretty much just in my zone the whole time, having a good time. So yeah, thank you for putting this on and letting us be a part of this. Uh, Congrats to Jake and Luke for podium, and thanks to Luke again for the livery and the help on the strategy. And yeah, hope everyone has a good night.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And congratulations on a very well executed race at a very difficult racetrack, especially a little bit not as prepared as a race would like to be, like you said earlier. So fantastic racing from SV's Paymay here today, and congratulations. We'll let you get back to that great group behind the scenes in the paddock and go celebrate that racing win.
All right, brother. Thank you. You have a good night.
You too, my man. Cheers.
Too.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, as always, great interviews from Lucas and Paymay, and always our group that ends up stepping on those great three steps here every single racing week. Great job to our pro division. And I mean, what else can we say other than, wow, what a race. That mid-pack battle tonight was just something else. That was a feisty spat for the final podium positions. And I mean, at the end of the night, the podium does go to Jakey and Lucas. So I mean, both those drivers making a great recovery drive, and maybe the constant battling from that mid pack while Jakey and Lucas were had their heads down in clean air, trying to put in those qualifying laps, so to speak, to catch that pack up, may have been the difference maybe here tonight for that amazing recovery drive from both those drivers. But you cannot take away the battle from second to seventh place. Ghost Viper, Mischievous, JP, J-Set, Dylan. Absolutely fantastic battling throughout a very large portion of the race between all of those drivers, whether it was the whole group of them battling at the same time or whether it was a couple of individual packs battling for position here and there. But a great racing from the whole field here today. 11 racers started, 11 racers finished. That is the most important thing here. And it sure sounds like they've been having some fun this season. So congratulations to our Pro Division for round number 9 here at Suzuka in Japan. That means one more race tomorrow night at Japan Suzuka Racetrack. That's right. We're going to be back with our Pro-Am split division here, and we're going to do it again here at Suzuka tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here live on GT45 Gaming on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us tonight. We really hope you enjoyed this spirited battle here at Suzuka in the Peugeot Group 1 908 HDI. Absolutely beast of a car, and these pros made it look like it was nothing. So congratulations to the whole group. And I mean, what else can we say? But wow, great racing as always from the Winner Circle community. Huge shout out to SLP SimLeaguePro.com. It is a host site where we're hosting the championships through here now currently at GT45 Gaming. It is a free to use website for all of you league organizers out there. It's a one-stop shop. You can do your standings, you can do your stewarding, you can do everything right there from the host site. And again, it's free of charge. So huge shout out to SimLeague Pro, SLP. Huge addition to the GT45 Gaming community and team here as we continue to work and develop more championships here for the community and everybody watching at home for hopefully many years to come. But great race here from our LMP drivers tonight, and this has been a fun series. And we only got 3 races left, so that's kind of sad. But that means a new championship will be coming in the near future, maybe more than one. Who knows what's happening here at GT45 Gaming? But the developers are busy behind the scenes, and we're working hard to get ready for our next championship season. But in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night for our Pro-Am division here at Suzuka in Japan for a 50-minute race. Will it rain tomorrow night for our Pro-Ams? Gonna have to tune in to find out. Do me a favor, everybody. Make sure you like and share this bad boy out before you leave. If you've done so already, love you for it. Appreciate it. OGs, you legends. Thank you so much for the continued support. If you're new here and you love what you just saw, you love that fast action race at Suzuka here tonight on Gran Turismo 7, just hit that follow or that subscription button. Hit the little bell. Turn on all your live notifications. You'll never miss another great moment here from GT45 Gaming and our racing community. We appreciate you all. We love you all. Remember, you all matter. Again, presented by Ten Tenths Simracing. I was your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and we'll be back tomorrow night for round number 9 from our Pro-Ams right here at Suzuka. Stay safe out there. Remember, no good deed goes unnoticed. Take the time. Help somebody out. Even the smallest act of kindness could change somebody's life. You just never know. Cheers. We'll catch you on the next one.
I've got that lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit. Step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle.